Hello everyone. How are you today? I hope everything goes well. Okay, come back with me. I am Nona. I am the English teacher for this session. Today we will practice again listening to story in English. Do you know what day it is? Yeah, that's right. Today is Wednesday, the 5th of May. But it's not just about May 5th. There is something special today that will be our discussion. Do you know what day May 5th commemorates? Okay, I'll give you time to remember. Yeah, that's right. Today is International Labor Day. Do you know what International Labor Day is? Okay, then we'll discuss it now. Labor Day is generally celebrated on May 1 and is known as May Day. Labor Day is an annual holiday in several countries that originated from the labor union movement's efforts to celebrate the economic and social success of workers. Labor Day was born from various series of working-class struggles to gain economic and political control over industrial rights. The development of Industriekapim in the early 19th century marked drastic changes, especially in the capitalist countries of Western Europe and the United States. Tightening discipline and intensifying working hours, minimal wages and poor working conditions at factory level gave rise to resistance from the working class. The first strike of the United States working class occurred in 1806 by the cordwainers. This strike brought its organizers to justice and also brought to light the fact that the working class in that era worked from 19 to 20 hours a day. Since then, the struggle to demand a reduction in working hours has become a common agenda for the working class in the United States. There are two people credited with contributing the idea to honor the workers, Peter McGuire and Matthew McGuire, a machine worker from Paterson, New Jersey. In 1872, McGuire and 100,000 workers went on strike to demand reduced working hours. McGuire then went on to talk to workers and the unemployed, lobbying the city to provide jobs and overtime pay. McGuire became known as a disturber of public peace. In 1881, McGuire moved Toast, Louis, Missouri and began to organize the carpenters. Eventually, Union of Carpenters was founded in Chicago, with McGuire as General Secretary of the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America. The idea of organizing workers according to their areas of expertise then spread throughout the country. McGuire and workers in other cities planned a holiday for workers on the first Monday of September between Independence Day and Thanksgiving. On September 5, 1882, the first Labor Day parade was held in New York City with 20,000 people carrying banners reading 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, 8 hours of recreation. McGuire and McGuire played an important role in organizing this parade. In the following years, this idea spread and all states celebrated it. In 1887, Oregon became the first state to make it a public holiday. In 1894, President Grover Cleveland signed a law making the first week of September an official national public holiday. The first International Congress was held in September 1866 in Geneva, Switzerland, attended by various elements of workers' organizations from around the world. This Congress set out a demand to reduce working hours to 8 hours a day, which previously still in the same year had been carried out by the National Labor Union in the United States. Just as these limits represented the general demands of the working class of the United States, so Congress transformed these demands into the common foundations of the working class of the whole world. May 1st was designated as the day of struggle for the world working class at the 1886 Congress by the Federation of Organized Trades and Labor Unions to, apart from providing a moment of demanding an 8-hour day, to give a new spirit to the working class struggle which reached a massive point in that era. May 1 was chosen because in 1884, the Federation of Organized Trades and Labor Unions, inspired by the success of the labor actions in Canada 1872, demanded an 8-hour workday in the United States and went into effect on May 1, 1886. On May 1 of 1886, approximately 400,000 workers in the United States held a massive demonstration to demand a reduction in their working hours to 8 hours a day. This action lasted for 4 days starting May 1. On May 4, 1886, the demonstrators held a large march, the American police then shot the demonstrators, resulting in hundreds of people being killed, and the leaders were arrested and then sentenced to death. The workers who died were known as martyrs. Before the events of May 1, in various countries, there were also labor strikes to demand fairer treatment from capital owners. In July 1889, the World Socialist Congress held in Paris declared the event in the United States on May 1 as World Labor Day and passed a resolution containing a major international action should be organized on a certain day on which all countries and cities at the same time, on a mutually agreed day, all workers demand that the government legally reduce working hours to 8 hours per day and implement all the results International Labor Congress France. This resolution received a warm welcome from various countries, and since 1890, May 1, known as May Day, has been celebrated by workers in various countries, despite strong pressure from their governments. Indonesian 1920 also started celebrating Labor Day on May 1. Ibu Adat Dien, Adat's eldest daughter as a child and her mother attended the commemoration of International Labor Day in the Soviet Union, and as an adult she also attended the commemoration of International Labor Day 1 May 1970 at Tiananmen Square, PRC. At the commemoration, according to her, there were also Mao Zedong, Prince Sihanouk with his wife Queen Monique, Cambodian Prime Minister Penet, Lin Biao, second in command of the Chinese Communist Party, and the leader of the Burmese Communist Party Thaksin Bhutantine. However, during the New Order government, Labor Day was no longer celebrated in Indonesia, and since then, May 1 is no longer a holiday to commemorate the role of workers in society and the economy. This was because the labor movement was linked to the communist movement and ideology, which since the G30S incident in Indonesia, 1965, when Suharto was in power, actions to commemorate May Day fell into the category of subversive activities, because May Day was always connoted with communist ideology. This connotation is clearly inappropriate, because the majority of countries in the world, most of which adhere to non-communist ideologies, even those that adhere to anti-communist principles, designated May 1 as Labor Day and made it a national holiday. After the New Order era ended, even though it was not a holiday, every May 1 was celebrated again by workers in Indonesia with demonstrations in various cities. Fears that the mass workers' movement mobilized every May 1 would result in riots were never proven. Since the commemoration of May Day in 1999 until 2006, there have never been any destructive actions carried out by the mass labor movement that fell into the category of endangering public order. What happened instead was the security forces' repressive actions against the workers, because they were still guided by the old paradigm which considered the May Day commemoration to be subversive and orchestrated by the communist movement. Pre-reform World Labor Day, before the resignation of President Suharto, was celebrated on May 1, 1998, at the Fkua Salemba campus, Jakarta. Initiated by Stovia Fkua Salemba Student Movement Organization, QEUI Big Family and Cobra Labor Committee for Reform Action. The action on May 1, 1998 was only attended by students, while elements of the labor movement at that time were blocked by officers in front of LBH Jakarta. The commemoration on May 1 continued without the presence of elements of the labor movement. The joint action commemorating World Labor Day 1 May 1998 was held again the day after on May 2, 1998. Still taking place at the Fkua Salemba campus, at the same time as National Education Day and attended by the masses of the labor movement and the student movement. The commemoration of the first World Labor Day at the beginning of the reform era was celebrated on May 1, 1999, at the Fkua Salemba campus, Jakarta. The commemoration of World Labor Day May 1, 1999 was attended by thousands of participants, both from the labor movement organized by COBER and students from Stovia Fkua and QE. In 2006, May Day actions took place in various cities in Indonesia, such as in Jakarta, Lampung, Makassar, Malang, Surabaya, Medan, Denpasar, Bandung, Semarang, Samarinda, Manado, and Batam. Around 20,000 workers took part in a long march towards the state palace the occasion of May Day 2008 in Jakarta. They gathered since 10 a.m. at Theater Indonesia roundabout. In 2009, tens of thousands of workers, activists and students from various elements and organizations commemorated World Labor Day by holding a long march from the High Roundabout to the State Palace, Jakarta. This action was grouped under two umbrella organizations, the People's Struggle Front Effort and the Alliance of Workers Claiming ABM. Thousands of workers who were members of ABM were detained and blocked by hundreds of police officers about 500 meters from the palace. Metro Jaya Regional Police Chief, Thursday, May 3, 2012, received a number of trade union figures who were directly involved in carrying out large-scale demonstrations in the capital city of Jakarta to welcome May Day 2012 or International Workers' Day. Labor figures who met the regional police chief included the action leader and field coordinator. Then they, together with the regional police chief, gave a press statement. The Indonesian government will make International Labor Day, which is celebrated every May 1, a national holiday. It started in 2014. So, that's a brief history of May 1 or International Labor Day. You can repeat the lesson again and listen again for a better understanding of the history of International Labor Day. Okay, happy commemoration of International Labor Day May 1, 2024. I am Nona. I am ending this study session. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so we can meet in the next study session. Okay, bye-bye.